Hello and welcome back for another clarinet tutorial from Nottingham Music Excellence. So in this video I'm going to play the grade 5 piece, the Forlana from the Five Bagatelles by Gerald Finzi. A lovely piece this, what you might call the quintessential English clarinet music. And after I've played the music I'm going to say a few words about the detail of the piece and what you need to do to make this sound really awesome. And then you'll have an opportunity to play along with the piano accompaniment all by yourself. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Here we go. Okay, so you've heard the music now. What can we say about the detail of the music? So let's just say a few words first about the difficulty of the piece. I think this is a hard choice for grade 5. I don't think it's an easy choice at all. On the surface it just looks, it's one of those pieces that just looks so simple on the page. Doesn't look too challenging at all. But I think when you take into account that, I think on any wind instrument, when you're trying to play quietly and beautifully and play with really small dynamics but play beautifully as well, I think that is the most difficult thing to do on any wind instrument. So I think when you take that into account and the flats thrown in there as well, I try, if I can, to steer pupils away from this one and do one that's just got a little bit more of a standard tempo, as it were, and and just something that fits around the keys a little bit nicer. You know, I don't think this is an easy choice at all. So let's go over some of the actual notes then. So already just in that opening line, I think you've got to really be able to set the scene. You've got to have a nice sound around those throat notes that really aren't the nicest notes on the instrument. You've got your A flats, the B flats, you've finished that phrase on the B flat. And notice on that B flat there, I didn't just sort of play the two keys. I added an extra couple of fingers there and an extra couple of fingers there just to sort of improve the resonance of that note a bit. Effectively sort of gives you a bit more clarinet. Just to make a slightly nicer sound on that B flat. And then this next section, PPP. Now, can you really play this PPP and be heard? I guess it depends whether you think of the PPP as, is it a decibel level or is it a level of quality? Now, I think that's the deciding factor there, is do you want to play a PPP quality of sound, or do you just treat that as a decibel level that's just something that's like so quiet? I think it's a bit of both. And the piano sort of plays the interesting part here. And I think those tenuto lines as well just give the note a bit of a sort of, a slightly sort of, I don't know, like a bell-like quality, you know, so like bing, bong, bing, bong. I suppose that would be more of an accent really than a tenuto, wouldn't it? But I think they just need sort of slightly separating and slightly emphasizing, but PPP as well, you know, I mean, I don't know. And then we'll get back on kind of the tune again after we do some of those longer notes. And notice there's a slight crescendo from the PPP to the PP, you know. All these things I think are quite hard to actually put into a dynamic level, aren't they, as such? Okay, next section. Now this is going to catch people out, isn't it? So here, we've got this actually sort of stitches you up on the fingering, doesn't it really, if you're not careful? So G, E flat to left hand C, but then I think you've got to swap over to the right hand C so that you can go E flat, D flat, B flat. So you've got to be really careful there. Of course, if you've got the left hand lever, if you've got one of the like professional models of clarinet and you've got the left hand lever, you could play that without the swapping over. So you could go G, E flat, C, and then you could go right hand D flat and then left hand D flat to B flat. I think because I didn't learn on a clarinet with that left hand lever, I don't sort of go for it as like a first choice. I don't automatically go for that key. So I only use that key for very, you know, certain passages. I kind of don't think I would use it there. I wouldn't think of using it. I would just kind of swap the finger in from the left hand C to the right hand C and then continue on. So just show that one more time. So I've landed on my left hand C and then I'm going to swap mid note to the right hand C and then go down again to my nice B flat with those extra fingers. Now when I've done that passage with pupils before, it has caused, they've struggled to play it. And I think it's bars like that pupils will really struggle, like just with the key work and the sound and the quality of the sound, and I think that's ever so hard to play, a lot harder than it looks. Next bit, 27, this is simple enough. I think if you get past those flats, you get to a key change here, so just one sharp. I think that'll be a relief to a lot of pupils. So nice and easy there. Now I'm going to skip a bit over to 42. Now this, use this moment to really sort of get some, you've done all that quiet playing, you know, you've done your PPP and your PP and your piano semplice, and now you've got a chance, you've got this one moment in the piece to really sort of use a big sound, get some really motion out in there into the piece. But it's actually quite awkward. It's not an easy sort of interval to put sound through, and you've got to be really careful you don't squeak here, I think. It's not an easy interval to kind of push and put a lot of sound through it, I don't think that. And then, nice big moment here, going up to the D. Be really careful again, you don't squeak on the D. Just get a nice sort of convincing sound. If you want to make this perhaps a little easier, instead of slurring to the D, you could just slightly tongue that D. It might help you get the definition on that note. Might be a little fix. So just see if you can slur that. So just tonguing that D might make it slightly easier. If you're just struggling to slur up there. And then we're back to this PPP again, and again we're back onto the flats, so watch your flats. So be careful with the notes there. And then we're back onto this PPP again, which is going to be a little bit excruciating after sort of having that bit where you can actually play out. Your back sort of stifled again, your back sort of back to a very small sort of expressive sound again. And watch those A flats and D flats and let's just go over the final bars. Now this one I think you do in the last line, just right on the part here, what the piano does. So the piano joins you at bar 70 on the, the piano comes in with the dum da dum dum when you come in with the PP. So yeah, so bar 70, you come in on the second beat on the E flat. And as you hit that note, the piano goes dum da dum dum, and then plays that dotted minim. So, and then you play your dotted rhythm on the next beat, and then the piano plays a long note as you. So perhaps just write that on in the last, because you can, it's one of those, it just kind of slows down a bit and it's so quiet. You can end up kind of in no man's land a little bit on that last line, not knowing quite where you are with the piano part. So I think just to summarise, a lovely piece to play, a beautiful piece of music, but just watch this one. The flats really catch people out. And can you play it with a soft, kind of clean and clear expressive sound on those quiet dynamics? So just learn those fingerings carefully and just learn how to make a really nice, clear and expressive sound on those notes that aren't really sort of like the best notes on the instrument. Personally, I think the B1 is a safer choice than the B2. But if you're playing this for grade 5, the best of luck. I hope you get a super mark. And of course, if you have enjoyed the tutorial and you're using the accompaniment, then don't forget to support the channel by clicking that like button and let me know how you're getting on with grade 5 in the comments. So over to the accompaniment, have a go at playing along with the accompaniment yourself and see if you can get it really in time with the piano. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.